Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're enjoying whatever you're reading. Remember, if you don't like what you're reading, set it aside. Also, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. The more likes that I can get and viewers on these videos, that would be wonderful. I know it's a bit of a dream, but I would kind of like to get to about 100 subscribers. So if you know anybody who's interested in primarily historical or literary fiction, which is what I primarily read, pass it along. I'd really appreciate it. Also, remember I've got a bookshop.org site where I've got an affiliate link listed in the description. I think you all know how affiliate links work. I get a bit of a kickback, whatever books you buy, off the bookshop.org if you click through my store. I know I haven't updated my storefront. I apologize. I will try to do that soon. It may even be what's the word? Might be updated as of this video when I post this video, but who knows? I somehow keep forgetting I should put it on a to-do list. Anyways, that being all said, and it doesn't cost you any more than buying the book from bookshop.org. If you have a US or UK address, so you can easily buy off that site, and you can support also a local bookstore, an independent bookstore if you're choosing. So you can choose the bookstore in Thomasville. You can choose any of the independents that you know of that you've maybe visited on a trip. But as long as you have a US or UK address, I do not know why they do not have a Canadian link, because I know there's lots of independent bookstores that I think would love to be part of this. And I think people would love to support independent bookstores here. So, but there's other resources you can support independent bookstores in Canada, but if you're in the US or the UK or have a UK or US address, you can support an independent bookstore that way through that link. Anyways, the book today is The Storm Sister. It's the second book by Lucinda Riley. It's the second book in the Seven Sisters series. About a year ago, I reviewed a book called The Seven Sisters, which focused on Maya. And this one focuses on Allie. And I'll read the back, and then I will give my rating and my thoughts. A gifted young woman makes sense of her elusive past in the second book of an epic series. Allie Diaplice is preparing for one of the world's most challenging yacht races when she receives news of her father's death. Saying goodbye to the love of her life, a man her family knows nothing about, she rushes back to her childhood home, an enchanting chateau where she and her 5 sisters, each adopted as infants, were raised. When new tragedy strikes on the high seas, Allie turns her back on the water and instead follows her own North Star, an intriguing clue left by her father that leads her to Norway, with the promise of unmasking her origins. Surrounded by the majestic beauty of an unfamiliar land, Allie discovers the century-old love story of Anna Landvik, a talented singer with an astonishing link to composer Edvard Grieg. But as Allie learns more about Anna, she also begins to question who her father, Saul, really was, and why her 7th sister remains missing. Lucinda Riley's captivating story brings together 2 Brazilian women decades apart, weaving their stories into an unforgettable examination of family, love, and identity. I gave this book a 4.75. I really liked the story. I'm actually at the point now where I'm thinking seriously about buying the entire series, because I just really like these books. They're really well done. Yes, they're over 500 pages, and I know for some of you that would be feeling it would feel very daunting. But when you get into Anna's story, it's really I found really good. And then even into her descendant stories, I think was really, I really quite liked it. I didn't like Allie's as much story as much this time. I think it took me a little while to get into the book, unfortunately, especially her story at first. It did take me a while, because I thought, well, how is this all gonna land up, and how is this all gonna be connected? I kind of knew there'd be something, but the connection this time, just like in the first book, it was the connection was the Christ Redeemer statue in Rio. The connection is music in this one, and a piece that was never heard. And now I think the piece they mention that is performed here is fake, very likely, but I don't know. I haven't done my rabbit hole research, so to speak, for this one. But in any case, I really liked it. I really liked the story, and this is probably one of my favorites of the series so far. I mean, I loved Maya's story quite a bit. I think I gave it a 4.5. But this one I really liked. I think because of where, I'm not sure, really. I think it was a lot of it had to do with, I don't know. I just really liked it. I think it was really well done. I think the author really got the story better. Like, the writing was better. I haven't read any of her books prior. Have never read Lucinda Riley before reading the first book in this series, The Seven Sisters. But I really enjoyed this one for some reason. Really got into it. And that's reflected in my rating and how I'm feeling about the book and how I'm feeling about the series. And I'm actually looking forward to reading the next book in the series. I just have to unpause a hold for the next book. And I think that is, if I remember, I have to look back in the back of the book. It's The Shadow Sister, and I think we're going to England for the next book, looks like, based on the cover. And I think, I don't know where we're going for next books, but definitely I know that was like, and like, I think like the first book, there's a bit of a preview of the next story, which I kind of like that she does that, even though she says, oh yeah, they're standalone stories, but there's a connective tissue. And I think she, and I like that she does her research. She has all her, she lists her bibliography, like the books she used. She, quite a number of books. Like, she talks in this book, you spend quite a fair time in Leipzig, Germany, and in Oslo. You also, you spend a lot of time in Leipzig, Germany, and also not Oslo, Norway, before it was called Oslo. Interestingly enough, I did not know that. Up until, like, I think for several hundred years, up until the late 19th century, early 20th, Oslo was called Christiania. I'm not sure exactly why, but then they changed it back to Oslo, which was the original Nordic name for that town, for that city. So, and actually I had to do a bit of deep dive on that one, because I was like, this sounds familiar, like this is a big city, like what? It's not Bergen, but it does spend, and the book does spend a bit of time in Bergen as well. So yeah, I really quite liked it, and I'm starting to really enjoy the series. I like that she I think I liked Maya better than I liked Allie for whatever reason. Just personal preference. But I like the story, like the story that looked back to the one that took place in the past better this time around for some weird reason. I don't know. Maybe it felt more realistic than, say, Maya's ancestral story. But yeah, I really quite liked it, and I'm very much contemplating buying the series. I don't know through whom, but I can definitely, I'm definitely anticipating buying it, and I'm looking forward to the next book. And I look forward to talking to you soon, and I hope you all have a great day wherever you are, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.